Hello sweethearts, welcome back to another episode with Martina Amito. I am the Martina Amito. For those who didn't know, now you know, and I hope you all are sweethearts. And if you're not a sweetheart, I'm going to give you 3 simple ways to become a sweetheart. You're already through with step number 1, so you can proceed to step number 2, which is hitting the subscription button and the notification bell so that every time I have a new video, you're notified to watch it. And then step number 3, which is giving this video a thumbs up. Like, hit that like button, that just hit it, and then congratulations, you are a sweetheart. Welcome to the family. Sit put, feel at home, because I'm not going to be blabbering, so I'm going to go straight into what I came here to say. Today I'm going to be telling you how my experience was the very first day at college campus, university, whatever you want to call it. So my first time at university was 2019 August. That's when I started my year there. So yeah, of course, if I'm starting, I'm a fresher. And you know, people keep telling you, like, as you're going to join campus, they'll be telling you you're going to go as a fresher, you're not going to be knowing where places are, people are going to start bullying you. And actually, I was like, you know, when they were telling me these stories, I was like, nah, I'm not the type that is going to be bullied. I'm not the type that is going to be you understand. So I go. Okay, the first time, that part where you have to go and pick like your admission and doing all those other things like doing the admission, then picking the admission forms. You actually go with friends, even if they're not doing the same course as you. You just have to go with them, because from the school that I was in, it's not like I was the only person that was going to that particular university. So I got to Makerere University. I pick my form. I come back home. I get ready. They add me to the WhatsApp group for the class, and I'm excited. Who is not excited to go to campus? They send on the WhatsApp group. They send the timetable. I see the timetable. I'm like, okay, my first class. I remember my very first class was in the senior common room. By that time, I did not know where it was. So now here is the first saga. I go to school. I thought I was really smart. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to dress up and be really smart so that people don't look at me and be like fresher. I was like, I go to Google and I search cute clothes. You know those things that freshers do. I did all of them, by the way. So I go ready. Atemama campus galo anyansobola. I go. I reach there. I thought, like, the way I'm dressed, no one is even going to think I'm a what? No one is even going to think I'm a fresher. No one is even going to have it in mind that I'm a what? I'm a fresher. I go. Bananga entering the gate. Ngana kaingira bwenti. Ngagai start fresher. I'm like, but what shows them a fresher? Like, I'm not even dressed like a fresher, but I think they have their mind gauges that just show them that this person is really new to uni. I take that chill. I go. Now the problem is I don't know where the room is. I start nashing. I'm like, if I ask, people are going to really know I'm a fresher, and I'll start getting bullied, and people might start saying stuff. So I'm like, I'm not going to do what? I'm not going to ask. Let me just go and nash around. I go. The funniest part, I was standing at the very building that the room was at. So I was like, I was like, no, I'm not going to get lost. So what I'm going to do, let me ask. There was a young lady seated there. So I asked her, like, hi, good morning. She was like, good morning. I was like, do you mind telling me where the senior common room is? And she was like, oh, yeah. I was like, you know where it is? She was like, yeah, let me direct you. I was like, yeah, sure, direct me. Now she tells me, are you seeing that side? Now she's directing me where I came from, like the gate that I got in through, which is on the opposite side of campus. Like, go there, you see that road? Around there's a building there near the roundabout. I was like, even me, like, yeah, I'm understanding. You go there. She told me to go back where I was coming from, and I was standing at the room. Like, it was annoying in its own way. I tell me who does not know that place. Let me go. And I go. Move. As I'm walking, I'm like, but I don't think this is the place. I don't, because if the college of psychology is way on the other side where I'm coming from, I don't think they'll have classes on the other side. Like, so now I start trying to use common sense. So I meet someone else and I ask her. Actually, this time it was my friend an OG. So I asked her, like, I'm looking for the senior common room. She's like, it's where you're coming from. I was like, God, first day and this happens to me. So I started moving, going back. So as I was moving, going back, I saw a friend of mine who I'm doing the same course with. She directs me and I do what? We go back to class, we sit. Now, Panange never go early. Hey, I was going early, all hyped at a campus. I was all hyped. Getting there, and we were just two in the class, me and her. 2 in the whole class. Maybe with another friend of ours who was actually doing the evening class, so that made us 3. But the psychology class for day, we were 2, like, Babili. Hold up, I don't know what's wrong with my lighting. Okay, so we go to class and she's like, you know what, let's just go home. The day is what? The day is done for today. Now we do what? We go home. Chills. Now the thing is, me, I'm commuting. But you know, like, as you're at school, you see there are these things, Simanya, like, what did they call that one? I'm trying to forget the name. I've forgotten the name, but that, like, they get a place, then they start selling, like, things. God, why is the name running out of my head? So they were selling, like, clothes, eats in one particular place where freshers would go, like, have ice cream. So a friend of ours takes us there. He buys for us ice cream, and I didn't know that supposed to eat while sitting. I still do my high school things there. I get my ice cream. Now in Tambula, I tell mama fresher. Now these things that I was doing were the ones really giving me away. Like, that's a fresher. Like, that is a fresher. Automatically, that's a fresher. Now me, I did not know those things. You people, when I think about these things, I actually laugh. Now, let me tell you something. Now we are walking. This is like 3 days after. I'm still commuting. I've not yet joined hostel. Like, I have to go to school every day and go back home. So I met a group of boys this evening. I was actually going back home. So I met a group of boys, and as I was walking, they were like, "Excuse me, you don't have to be rude. You don't have to show off, eh?" So I'm like, "Yes." They're like, "Could you help us?" I was like, "Help you do what?" They were like, we are carrying some stuff to our, like, they were standing near a car. So like, we are carrying some stuff to our hall and we would need your help. So there were like 3 guys. So I was like, Mama warned me about this kind of boys. I was like, you know what? They are waiting for me. And then I left them there and I went and stood at a gate. So standing at the gate, I was, I'm waiting for a taxi to take me home. Standing at the gate. So they came. They were like, like, they even spoke to me in Uganda. Nyabo wabadde otweragirako, they are waiting for you. Kale kookirabe twandikuwadde ne lift naye tambuzawo ebigere. I felt bad. I felt these people. I was like, what? Is this how it is? Like, it was really, now these are like experiences that are making me start to hate the place that I haven't even been for a month, like barely a month, and I'm already hating the place because of the experiences I'm getting. They come and give us our first coursework. So me, I was like, I'll do this thing later. Kati, me, what I was going to do later is what I did not know. I was going to do something very different, and then when they explained to me what exactly I was supposed to, I was like, and the coursework was actually due the next day. I was like, I'm going to go home. I never knew that these things are supposed to be typed. I thought, like, the way they give you homework, or assignments in high school. You go write, and then bring and they whatever. I was like, oh, I'm not sleep today. And remember, at home I don't have a PC, I don't have a printer, so I have to like type it from maybe a cafe or something, and then I print. Meaning I go home with my head, and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to print. So now what I did after finding out, I write like a draft, I go to my friend, he types for me. Do you know, guys, what time I left? I left like at 11. Now me in my head nonsensically, I'm like, I'm not going to go home straight. I have to first look for someone to do what, someone to print for me. It's 11, guys. Okay, it was not exactly 11. It was like, I think like 10:45 there. So I call a friend of, I tell a friend of mine, he was sleeping at campus. He was sleeping in campus. Sorry. He was sleeping in campus. So I'm not going to reveal his name. So I'm going to call him Q. So I tell Q, you know what? I'm around your hall. I'm still around. Say maybe you want to come. I have to print my work. Q comes. Now instead of telling him, now I've seen you, you've seen me. I study here, so we shall meet up some other day. I tell Q, I'm like, let's get somewhere to sit. I'm like, let us sit. So we sit. Now, thing about that particular place that we sat is that you're not supposed to be there, I think, past 10 or something like that. You're not supposed to be there past 10. So for him, he's in his free zone. Yeah, he already sleeps there. It's not like he has parents. Now my mom is at home waiting for me. Yeah? Now you think you're a campus side, you can be late out to late. An army officer comes. He's like, what are you doing here at this time? I'm like, we're just seated. He was like, no, you can't just be seated. What are you doing here this time? Do you know that this is not a place you're supposed to be at this time? I was like, okay. Then he was like, in fact, get up and go there. He sent us to some field. That method she was telling us to go home. So we got the president. Like, are you mad? Come back. Go to the direction. Now me, I already have, I think I have a phobia. Every time I see like a policeman or something, I get really scared. Nga he calls us. Now we go there, they make us squat, you know, like the way they can get idlers, you know, people who idle, eh? Ababera mu Uganda mubi manyi bakwataba idle. Nga I go, nga I sit, nga I squat. I'm not sitting, and I was actually putting on a white dress, short. So I went, I sat, Bambi. I take a fresher. They told us, those who have IDs of Makerere University, you can go. Did I have an ID? It was like my very, they hadn't even processed IDs for us. I had just gotten there, it was like barely a month, yeah? But they were to quarter. Remember, it's coming to midnight. I have not printed my work. And I be there, I sit there. Time. After I say, okay, if you have your admission, that's where I got in from with my friend Q. So immediately that happened, Q was like, okay, now Q had to go back to his hall. Of course, I had to go back home. I get on a judge. As I'm on a judge, I'm like, I tell the border guy, I was like, if you see any stationery open, it's coming to midnight. If you see any stationery open, please tell me. I go and print. Like, I think in his mind he was like, what have you been doing the whole day? So I get a stationery, the work, I failed to get the work off my phone into their computer to print. I was like, so it takes them like 20 minutes and I have to go home. My phone actually even blacked out. My battery was low, so I got home. If you know what my mom told me, hey, so you think now that you've joined campus, you can be out up to late? And you know, African moms, once they are quarreling, you don't explain. There's no way you can explain. Even if you're on the right track, they'll be like, so I tried explaining things, refused people, but yeah. Afterwards, of course, they have to keep quiet and you sleep. So that's how I started my uni. So those are like the first 3-4 experiences that actually let me down in the beginning, but afterwards actually I got into it. When I joined the hostel and all that, I became used to it, and yeah, that was my experience. I hope you enjoyed. Moral of this story: never think you're above anything. Like, never think you're above anything. I actually thought I was above being called a fresher, but all those experiences really made me get to know that, you know what, you have to go through every stage. Don't try to jump being called a fresher. Accept it, embrace that you are fresher, and everything will turn out fine. Yeah, that's all I had for today's story time. I'm going to be giving you many more story times, and I'm starting to post 2 times in a week. So you're going to be having a dose of Martina Amito 2 times in a week. I'm not going to be sure which particular day I'll be posting, but 2 days in a week. So Saturday and one other day in the week. So be prepared to have story times and much. Till next time, hope you're a sweetheart. If you're not a sweetheart, smash the subscription button and the notification bell so that every time I have a new video, you can be notified to watch it. And stay safe, stay healthy. I'm Martina Amita again. Thank you, sweethearts, for watching. Till next time, love you all.